Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through the order flow, live analysis, and trade management as well. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through the order flow. Yeah, we'll look for opportunities in here and also talk a lot about trade management. This is in demo. It is not a trading recommendation, nor it's nothing live in here. So let's just, I should say, it's nothing with live real account money. So let's go through the disclosures. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. We'll take a look here. Let me see if there's any questions. Good morning, Alois, and others. Good morning, Slowdown. All right, thank you. Big sunrise there and a cup of coffee. Perfect. Good morning, Alan, and and Alois. All right, guys. Well, let's see. I don't know if we want to wrap up or cover a little bit in review yesterday. If you had any questions yesterday, I think so. Let me start with the bigger picture here. Let's take a look here at the daily chart over on the left-hand side here in the candlestick chart. Now, this is for the S&P E-mini. Okay, Rob, what is today? What kind of day is it? And what do you expect because of this day? I know you're in here, Rob. I see you. It is an inside day. So what do you expect? What are your expectations? I mean, reversion? Yeah, maybe. I mean, chop. I mean, basically back and forth, testing some of the edges. But no decisiveness is typically what we're looking for on days like today. That is huge, right? You're not looking for it to trend. Okay? Now, it may. I mean, we don't know. And why might it trend? Because, well, what do we have the rest of the week here? Okay, we have tomorrow, nothing really today in terms of news, but we know the markets are very, very sensitive to the CPI data. That is tomorrow at 8:30. All right, core CPI data, year over year and month over month CPI data. All right, as well as later in the day, FOMC meeting minutes. Okay, these are going to be pretty big events, and the market's going to react to these events. It's going to have to read through the minutes and see what it means. That's going to be really interesting because we have the CPI data at 8:30 East Coast time in the morning, and then later at 2 p.m. we have the FOMC meeting minutes. All right, what do we have the rest of the week here? Well, Thursday morning we have the PPI, okay, the Producers Price Index, and we also have the weekly unemployment claims. All right, so yeah, there's a bond auction later in the day, the 30-year, well, and then on Friday we have the University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Now that's not as important, but it can still move the markets. So why? Let's just put this into perspective. Today and yesterday, markets are kind of on hold, right? Inside days from Friday's action, and we had non-farm on Friday. In fact, even Friday was an inside day from the big down day that we had on Thursday. We are just building within this area in here. We are not looking for much. Now, that said, there's caveats in here, big ones. The market is forward looking. right? So someone might decide at some point, larger players, that we think that this is what the near future holds in terms of where what this stock market is worth, or the bond market, or whatever, and then there's a correlation between the markets, and we might get a big movement. Okay, and then tomorrow the news comes out, and maybe we get no movement. Okay, that happens all the time, right? This is what we need to be aware of, though, and be prepared for. This is such a simple thing. We're not just trading technically. Technical is really the movements in the technical, due to the technicals, is not as prominent as the fundamental data, right? That really moves the market. We have an inside day. Last few days we've had an inside day, so we're expecting chop. Now let's take a look at, we can review. We have the hourly here in the center, and then the 15-minute on the right. Hourly. Well, look at this tight range we're building here. Okay, so it's going to break out of this range at some point, and it's going to break hard. Okay, it'll likely come up to the top of this swing up here, or down into this swing here from last Thursday's action. Okay, it'll be unlikely the move will happen today, but we never know that, right? Before the non-farm, this thing dropped 100 points, over 100 points. That's huge. This is a huge move here. That was before non-farm. On non-farm on Friday, we had a retracement all the way back to the gap here from the Thursday's gap, and we've been chopping around since. Okay, it's kind of a reverse gap fill here. We went above. You can see just today we went above the swing here from yesterday, and this here is your mean reversion trade. Okay, so it did not accept outside. It explored. The market explored outside of the range here. It did not accept, and we had the sellers come in and move it back down into the range. Okay, so this is too costly. The market is too pricey up here. So this is an opportunity to sell based on what the market knows right now. These are your responsive sellers up here, trading it back into the range. Okay, and that is back into the range in terms of a mean and a mean reversion. What that means is, or the significance of it, is that it's going to come back to some sort of average. Okay, that average might be a high profile, a market profile, high volume node, or maybe it's a VWAP, or maybe it's something else, but some sort of mean, and that is your mean reversion. Okay, back into some sort of average. All right, so it did not accept outside. And that's good information here. So it actually gapped up here on the 15-minute chart. You can see retested up to this swing here for the first 15 minutes or so, and then you can see the move right back down. Okay, so now it's not only filled the gap down here, it's gone a little bit lower. Question is, will it trade to the other side of the range here? Okay, so far so good, right? The momentum on these time frames here, the hourly and the 15-minute, looks pretty decent to trade back down here and test this 52.50 figure somewhere around there. And we're just at 53 right now, so it's only about a 3-point move. But maybe we can even come back down lower into this swing here, 45, or this swing here, 37. Okay, now does this make sense to you guys, Rob, or kind of a bigger picture in here? Okay, so this is going to tailor your trading strategies for the day. Okay, you're not looking for this to trend. And now it may, like we said, we don't, like last Thursday, wow, did it move? Okay, so we don't know. However, based on what we have seen in the past and the data that is coming out tomorrow, traders don't know what is going to happen, so they are not going to react. So we're looking for chop and outside of a range back in and back into some sort of average or mean. All right, so that's our setup for right now, and that's what we're going to start to look at right now in terms of opportunities with this in mind. Okay, now when we look at that in mind, we're what we end up doing, reading the order flow, is this rules here. We're looking for the participants in here to tell us something. Okay, so that's the important part here, so we'll see. If we see like massive buying coming in here, well, we're not looking for coming down to 50 or 45 or 37 or 40 down here, right? We're looking for buyers to tangle with the liquidity up here and then try to move higher. Okay, maybe they can move back up into these areas up in here, right? So yeah, hold on a minute. All right. So anyway, so we're a bigger picture stuff so far, and then we're going to drill down into some of the scenarios that we're going to look at, and then patterns in the order flow to give us that insight to where price might be going next. Right. So right now, let's just start again with the drill down. We looked at our inside day on the daily chart. We see it's wound up here on the hourly, also on the 15-minute, and then we looked at the 15-minute in here, as well as the hourly, how it went outside of the range, failed and came back down into the range, filled the gap here, and this is kind of a nasty move in here. Think of all the traders like, oh, it's breaking out. I'm a buyer up here. Well, they're just getting hammered. Okay, they are sellers in this area in here, and this is what we want to pay attention to. Where are the buyers and sellers, and where are they going to feel the pain? And we're going to look to position ourselves for an advantage, an opportunity, right? So where the majority might have to sell, where might that be, etc. All right, so maybe we've already exhausted that on the sell side. As you can see, on the 15-minute chart, if there's buyers up in here, well, they're likely out of the market. They sold already. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they're some are putting their stops down around 50 or below here as buyers. So maybe we will come back down there and see if there's more sellers. But right now we're getting our answer. We see buyers actually starting to come back in at the moment. All right, so we went through the fundamentals. We looked at the daily chart and looked at the ranges. It's an inside day. Our expectations are for it to move tomorrow due to data, and then we're looking at the price action on these 3 time frames, and then now we're looking at the price action with the details. We have the volume, we have the liquidity, and we have the price structure here in Bookmap. Okay. All right, now we're going to look for opportunities in here, and we're going to go through what we have here. Well, a few ideas from the Bookmap Learning Center. So go to bookmap.com, click on education, and then our strategies and setups. We have two. One is this flag pattern that we've gone through for quite a while, and it is the components in the flag pattern, not the flag pattern that matters. It is a strong move with a shallow pullback, and then look for more volume and a strong move again. All right, so that's what we're looking for, and a momentum move or continuation strategy. We also have our reversal. So we have high liquidity on the bid here, this inverse head and shoulders, trending down into high liquidity on the bid here. It is transacting. And then we're looking for a shift in the order flow and volume, that we see more buyers starting to come in. Okay, and then we're looking for these buyers here to make equal high, and then we see our order flow shift and volume shift, and then we see a low volume pullback, a higher low into high liquidity, and more buyers in here, and that is the shift taking place and our opportunity in here. All right, so that's another thing to look for. Now, do we see that right now? No, we don't. Let's look for that shift right now. Okay, do we see it here? No, we don't. We see a lot of sellers, and then this is just trickling down in here. It is not trading into high liquidity, and we see a little bit of buying in here. But it went above this little range in here and rejected. Okay, this is not a reversal pattern at this time. Okay, there are more sellers in here. Okay, let's just take a look at it here. Let me get the pen out. Okay, we have more selling in the bars. You see it in the dots. Okay, we came from more selling here. And this is the little bit of buying that we see so far. All right, so we're looking at the bigger picture in here, and it's not really telling us much. So maybe it's this little bump and then continuation to the downside. All right, so in fact, we can look in here at these little swings in here, and maybe that's your setup. Okay, this would be more of a range-bound trade. In fact, someone like Slowdown, and we will be going through range-bound trades in the Learning Center. We'll offer that content soon. But look at the move up here. Look at the rejection. Here's a retest, and you see sellers after that. Okay, there's an opportunity right there. Okay, you'd look to trade it back down at least to where these buyers initiated, maybe here or maybe here. Okay, maybe you cover some, or you look for opportunity in here to get back in. Here's a pullback. Okay, and we're back into this this range in here. Right, so let's just take a stab at it here. Okay, now again, this is not a recommendation, and we're going to go through criteria in here before we take a stab at it. But the criteria, we just started to kind of go through our checklist. We need to go through our criteria. We're taking criteria-based trades. Does this is this a trade opportunity? If so, what is the criteria behind it? And how good is it? This is when we want to use our checklist. Okay, so you can edit it, your setups checklist here yourself, and input your own, or it comes by default. It comes with a the one for the flag pattern. Right. So anyway, use this tool to your advantage. Let's go through it in here and what we see right now. Okay, so so sellers, we're seeing still kind of little pockets of buying in here, but it is muted by the selling. We're making lower lows and kind of an equal a high here, or a slightly higher high. We did make a higher high here, but it traded into high liquidity here. It didn't even make the higher high here. There's your opportunity to trade it back down into the mean, or where these buyers initially started, and then take some off potentially. Okay, we covered this in detail yesterday about either if you're all in, all out, then you're all out at your area here. Okay, either here or here, right? And you may have gotten filled here if you were down in this area. And then you see, look at the buyers coming in on the bid here. Okay, bidding at a higher level. Okay, that's good. You know, that does fit kind of the criteria for a reversal, right? That we covered earlier. But this is not a lot of buying in here. In fact, now we're turning over and we're seeing our sellers come in. Okay, so we're looking, are we looking for a continuation to the downside? Yeah, pretty much. So actually, this is going to be a horrible entry, but we're going to do it. Okay, and we're going to, that'll be only half a position though. Okay, and we're going to move our stop up above the swing here and above this liquidity. And we'll keep our take profit down here in front of the figure for now. All right, so what we're looking for is we don't have a lot of criteria in here still. Okay, but what we're looking for is these sellers to come in here, trade into and through this 55, and then continue on down to 50. Right, that is the trade idea, and now we're going to manage it. All right, so it immediately is going against us. We noted it. We're getting in a bad area here. We know that, and let's just see what happens now. Okay, so we're just going to manage it. So here's our pullback, and look at the buying so far. Not very good. Okay, more selling again. All right, I'm looking for the sellers to trade into this 55 liquidity here. And let's see if they can trade through it. There they are. Okay, and there we go. All right, so now what more information do we have right now? Well, this transaction into that liquidity took place. These buyers on the bid here got what they wanted. Sellers traded right into them. Okay, we went slightly through it, but we've now bounced back. Okay, now do we see buyers come back in up here? And what does the order book look like here? Okay, well, I see liquidity starting to come down a little bit here. Okay, that's not good for the buyers. So we're still looking for this to continue lower. Okay, we have high liquidity down here a little bit, but maybe that's the next stop, okay, for these sellers to reach this high liquidity down in here. Okay, we're looking for where the buyers or the sellers are going to meet the buyers, and they are down in these areas in here. All right. All right. So we didn't get really an opportunity for we did have a pullback here, and we probably could have gotten in here, but we didn't, and we just have all in. We're going to go through just all in, all out today, okay, and manage it that way. We only have one position on, and we went through scaling in a lot of detail yesterday, and we will continue to do that. But let's just keep it simple for today. Okay, this is our simple trade idea, and we're looking for it to trade into this liquidity down here at the figure. Okay, and we're just about there, and there we go. We're filled. All right, so that's it. There was our trade idea. Okay, so now we went through this whole process in here, top down. All right, we started. Well, we started with data. What's the week look like? And you guys, you can go through anything you want in here. There's all sorts of services out there. This is one that when I was trading Forex, I always kind of gravitated towards, and many years ago, and I just kept with it. You might be using all sorts of other things. There's the economic news. The different services, I mean, there's all sorts of things in here, and I can't find them. But we have this one here for sure, trading economics. Okay, I know that I forget what it's called. Some of the services. There's is it trading the news or anyway? There are a lot of services out there. Whatever it is, just understand the basics in here and kind of shape up your day. Okay, so now it's getting interesting now, right? Because we covered this. We're looking for an inside day, right? But this is a pretty big move now, right? Well, let's take a look at our bigger picture in here. So we started with the news. Then we looked at our bigger picture. Then we started to outline a potential opportunity in here, looking for a move down to these swings. Okay, now that move has unfolded already. In fact, maybe we should have looked at that instead of just keeping my target at the figure here. We could have at least figured this was like a flag pattern. Strong move, shallow pullback, strong move. Okay, and again, don't get hung up on the flag pattern. Worry about the concept of the idea in here of who's in control of the market and where price might go. Now, the question down here is, okay, is there another opportunity now? Okay, because we've traded down to these swings here, okay, at least this swing. Yeah, I would imagine we're going to find some buyers start to cover here. Okay, so now we're going to look for that. Okay, so now this is going to be a counter trend trade. Okay, so we look for that potential opportunity in here. Okay, it's really selling off here. So there's our latest swing here. Okay, at 36, we said 37, so something like that. It could still maybe come down to this one here, 31. Let's take a look. Okay, we almost are at 31. Now I am anticipating there to be some covering down here and some buyers. Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at what the order flow's telling us here. Okay, well, this is going to be the most aggressive trend line that's going to break. Well, this might be it right here. Let's take a look. Okay, yep, it is. And then just up to here, though, 34, 35. It can't even do that. Okay. Now let's take a look at this in terms of reversal. Is this a reversal? No. We traded down into high liquidity into these areas in here. Look at the stair stepping here by the larger players with the liquidity. Okay. Now we noted these little pockets in here, but we're not getting involved yet. Okay. Now it's starting to get interesting. Okay, because we traded into high liquidity here. Also here, the buyers took on this liquidity here. Okay, now we've made an equal high here as well. Right, so we're looking again for a pullback. We're going to just see this, hopefully this reversal pattern unfold right in front of us. And we have high liquidity here. It's actually meeting the diagram almost perfectly. Okay, so we have the diagram from the learning center into high liquidity. Here's our head into high liquidity, and then our shoulder here in high liquidity at a higher level here on the bid. Let's see. Okay, here it is here. All right, so now what we're looking for is another opportunity in here, right in here. Okay, so let's see if we can get maybe a bit of a pullback in here. Okay, and we'll put a limit buy right there. All right, we're filled. And then let's see here. Okay, now we don't have quite all of criteria in here, but this is the idea. And we're looking for a move back up to here. Actually, this is the first place to consider taking your profit. Okay, because reversals are tricky. Right, so we just took our profit there. Now we didn't have other contracts on, right? But I want to follow the rules here in the and hold on a minute here. Yeah, okay. Make sure that still projecting here. All right. All right, guys. So now we're looking for maybe even a potential continuation pattern here. Here's our flag pattern. We're just kind of missing it right now. Okay. So I'm going to hold off on it. I see it. This would be the entry somewhere around in here. High liquidity on the bid. Our buyers start to come in here and then look for a measured move up to about 40. Okay. Now I'll give you my reasons why I'm not looking for it. Well, we kind of missed it, but we'll talk about that in just a second. And then why I took the partial profit, well, full profit here, is to reduce the risk. The Learning Center, we talk about the reducing the risk here, right? Right here, because these really strong. It depends now. This is just an idea for your take profit. You're looking for your measured move, right, in your head and shoulders pattern like this. However, your partial profit up here, because of a lot of times what happens is you'll just get these really, really strong moves on the sell side. You do see the criteria in here, but sellers come back in hard here. You don't get much of a pullback, or maybe you even get the measured move. That's actually what I want to cover in here in just a second. You may get this measured move here from here up into here. However, here, let me outline it again. Okay, so your measured move, well, here, I've got it right in the video. Yeah, there. Okay, so your measured move here up into here. You may get that. And then this continuation pattern, though, you may get your low volume pullback, and then you come up here and the retest back up in here. This is where the continuation pattern will fail a lot of times, because this is a strong trend to the downside. So if it comes back up in here and you don't see really this transition that we talk about, from sellers to buyers doesn't take place, this is what happens. We'll get like a double top here, or some sort of kind of pattern like that, and then continuation to the downside. All right, so that's why we want to consider taking the profit in some of these areas in here. Now look what it did here. This is doing exactly what we just discussed, right? Here is our measured range. Okay, in fact, did we even get a measured move out of it? Let's take a look. Clearly not. Okay, it couldn't even come back up into this area here where it dropped from. That's because this trend is strong, right? So we had our criteria for a reversal, okay, on a small time frame. Okay, we decided to take some profit at the top of the range in here. We had more on, that would be our second profit would have been up here, and we wouldn't have gotten filled. Okay, we would have probably been stopped out at break even. All right, so anyway, now we see the continuation to the downside. Now let's take a pause here and answer some other questions. Okay, is this an outside day now? All right, yeah, investing.com is one there. I forget, all of the brokers used to use it, called Econ News or something like that. They just plug it right in to their services. And it's, they have the economic calendar. But there's, tons out there to take a look at. Anyway, guys, now we have an outside day. All right. Now, where have we gone here? So we didn't expect this. Okay, we were just looking for range bound day, but now we have more information. We have traded outside the range. Okay, it is an outside day and it's on heavy volume. This is a great lesson today, is doing everything that we've talked about for years. And we're just covering it pretty nicely with some of the patterns and opportunities, and also some trade management in here. Okay, anyway, I'm still looking for the buyers to come back in. Okay? This has been a strong trend for today, and it is an outside day. But look where we've gone in some of these areas in here. Okay, so now I'm looking at ATR strategies in here, and how much are we really anticipating this to move more? And right now, these have been some really big moves, some pretty big candles, and now we're talking about market breadth, and how much more selling can there be, okay, for just the moment right now. All right, so we can have a move come, maybe it can come down a little bit lower into some of these swings in here, but this is where those buyers came in on Friday, right? And might come down to about 15 here. Heck, might come down to the figure 5,200. We don't know, but these are some pretty big moves, and I am starting to look, and we don't know what the data is. No one knows. Okay? They are kind of anticipating that data. Okay, but I am anticipating now that there's going to be some buyers that will come in and move it back up into probably our first stop would be our 37 or 36 swing, and then maybe up into 45, and can come all the way back up to where it dropped from at 55 here. All right, so we're looking for that. Okay, so we're looking for a potential reversal pattern. Okay, now before we look for a potential reversal pattern and the criteria, the easiest thing to do is to continue with the trend. Okay, so you don't see anything in here that really kind of dictates what you're looking for, and you're still in this potentially. Stick with it. Okay, so there's nothing in here yet that is telling us that we're going to get a reversal at all. Even these little pockets of buying, liquidity being filled, there's still more sellers. So there they go into 20. Hey, we could have scalped that, but we're going to hold tight here. Or now 15. Our other level was 15, right? Okay. So now this is very, very typical. High liquidity trades into a little bit through, and now watch some buyers come back in after a lot of the buyers here on the bid absorbed that selling pressure. Okay, so let's see if we get it here. Here's some exhaustion on the sell side. So are we going to get some buyers? Where are they going to take it? Well, probably back up to about here, 23, maybe 24. Okay, we can look at our profiles as well, and we can still be in a downtrend as well. We're looking at a counter trend trade here. Okay, and let's start to just line some of these things up. Okay, we have structure here. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. And well, we already got our answer. Okay, so we had some exhaustion. We did have a bit of a pullback here after that high liquidity. Okay, now we're traded into our 15 level, and let's take a look here. All right, so now this has been a huge move. I am anticipating some of these buyers to come in now. Right, so let's look for it. Okay, and we're not going to just we're going to wait for our structural changes in our criteria before we start jumping in here. Is this making sense to you guys? And are you able to kind of filter what you're looking for. Do you have any questions? Jump over to YouTube. Again, guys, this is all in sim, and these are not trade recommendations, nor is it a trading room. Okay, what we've been going over is understanding the well, it was a top-down approach, but what Bookmap is showing and how we can read Bookmap is by understanding the market mechanics that make up all of the patterns out there. Okay, now we've traded into 10. Look at that move into 10. We would anticipate a bounce after trading into high liquidity. Look at them on the bid now underneath here. Okay, so now we have a pullback as well. Okay, we have some strong buy volume, right? So let's see if this can turn into a potential reversal pattern. Okay, in the diagram on the inverse head and shoulders, we also covered this, that we start to see a bit of a slowdown and kind of a trend change here. Okay, so there it is, in fact, right there. Right, so we're still looking. There's still sellers in here though, and we'll likely get a pullback here. Okay, we broke some structure. We see the buyers. Look at the transition taking place, guys. We should have been in this. This is let's get a vertical line in here, right here. Here's our transition that we talk about. Okay, high liquidity on the bid, getting filled. Look at the sellers in here. Now look at buyers come in. Right, this is the transition. Okay, so we can still look for, now we're just hitting our higher time frame trend line. I imagine we're going to get a bit of a pullback. Yeah, missing this one. That's too bad. Yeah, I mean, we can look for maybe placing a limit buy down here. I doubt we're going to get filled. These pullbacks, after large trend move, the pullbacks or potential reversals are severe, right? See, it's, you know, this transition is stark. Look at this big difference here. High liquidity, very low volume compared to the relative buy volume in here. Okay, yeah, here let's see if we get filled here. Okay, now, yeah, we're just kind of, we do see higher liquidity here on the bid, right? So and we have broken this higher time frame trend line too. Okay, do we see a lot of sellers come in? No, not yet. Are they bidding up? Yeah, they are. Okay, so let's see here. Now we're looking for maybe a break here. We can put a buy stop here, and then we're going to actually cancel this one. Okay, so we're looking for a break of this trend line. What we're talking about here is structure again. Okay, and then we want to look for these buyers to come in and support this idea. And this is a buy stop. Okay, now we're looking for exhaustion here. We don't see much selling. Okay, now we're looking for buyers. Okay, and we're not getting them, clearly. All right, so we were prepared for it. We were looking for it. We didn't get it. All right, so let's cancel this now. And let's look for the next opportunity then, potential opportunity. Let me see if this is making sense to you guys. Let me jump over to YouTube. What is a measured move, JMK? It's very, very simple. If you look at a range or a move here, we're looking for a similar move. And why? It's not that there's some sort of pattern here to the market, like it's some sort of math problem. It's just simple kind of behavior, and also understanding, like, how much selling pressure the market can handle at once. How much buying pressure can it handle? Okay, so let's look at this, like this move here. This is a counter trend move, okay, on tremendous amount of buy volume. This is not a low volume pullback, and this might turn into a double bottom now. All right, what are we looking for then? High liquidity filled here. Okay, buyers starting to come in, lack of sellers. All right, well, let's put a buy stop here. And now again, this is just an idea, right? It's not a trade recommendation. We're looking for getting taken into that trade and buyers to come in now, because high liquidity filled. We made an equal low, and we're starting to see some buyers come back in. Okay, so now we're looking for a structural break here and a move maybe back up to about here. Okay, and that is the idea. Okay, now we'll see if we get it. If we don't, we have our stop at the swing, and that's it. Okay, okay. Likely to get stopped out, it looks like, but we'll see. Now we have a huge cluster of buying in here. It's likely a lot of covering, but let's see. Still looking for our buyers here. Okay, now let's see if they've got enough buying to break this little structure and trade up to this liquidity at 15. Okay, and if that's the move we're looking for, then maybe we should take our profit here. Okay, it's not looking good. Okay, we're stopped out, and that's that. Okay, we were prepared for this idea, and we had our criteria behind us here. Okay, now let's see if we get it again here. We may, and then we would get in. Now let's do it. Okay, so now we're back up here, and we see even more buying. Okay, so I am looking for buyers to take this higher now. We broke the structure on high volume. Okay, all right, and what about 15 liquidity here? Well, maybe we can go further. In fact, let's do another one. Let's scale into this, and then I'm going to take partial profit here at 15. Okay, on our original position, or this one here, our first position. Okay, so we're scaled out of that one, and now we're looking for a bigger move. Right, so now I'm going to put it up here by this liquidity and the swing up here. Okay, is this all making sense, guys? I mean, I think this is about as clear as it has ever been in this webinar here, because the way that we have drawn it in from the Learning Center in here, this how we see the market move down like this, and then it does this kind of move like this. It gets shallower, right? As there's more liquidity on the bid getting filled and absorbing that selling pressure. Okay, so it's doing that in here. Here it is here, right? We just had a kind of a double bottom in here. We were prepared for a head and shoulders, but we had another test down here. Okay, and that's it. Right, now look what happened here so far. Well, we just got stopped out. Okay, in fact, we got lucky on that one. I don't know what exactly happened here, but it looks like we got triggered, and the next transaction was up here somehow. So yeah, that's kind of weird. I'll have to maybe show that because that was a book sweep here. And we can still find more buyers come back in. Okay, so we'll look for it here. Okay, they're coming back in. Okay, and Maybe we'll come back up here, but I'm going to hold off in here. This is looking different now. Criteria is different. All right, so we got really lucky on that. Yeah, so we're hands off, right? The criteria is different. Maybe it's turning into what we're looking for. It's just taking more time. Okay, maybe this is the head of the Head and Shoulders down here. Okay, we are still trending down. Okay, what's happening though is it is flattening out from this trend to now this trend here. Okay, let's get rid of all these lines here for the moment, and we'll just keep a few. Okay, so here's our original trend line that did break. Okay, and now you can see that it's becoming a bit more shallow here. So now we're going to look at the order flow, which is down here on the bid at this 08 area, and then up here at 20 and a little bit at 16 on the offer. And we're looking at the transactions within this little range in here. We saw our transition take place nicely in here. That's why we were looking for that potential Head and Shoulders. Okay, and now what this has turned into here, after more relative volume in here, still stands out on the chart. Okay, it's significant, but you can see that we still have selling pressure come in here. Okay, so anyway, that's the case, and we're starting we're watching it here. Okay, now we traded into some of this liquidity in here, and now they're bidding up here. Okay, so are we still looking for our buyers? Yeah, I am. So let's see if we can get it, and then trade right back up to this swing here at 15. Okay, we're getting our pullback here. All right, so I'm going to place another buy stop here, and looking for buyers to take us into this trade. They're bidding up underneath, and we have our setup here. Right, again, this is all in sim, and is to demo order flow and the setups in here, as well as the trade management. Okay, we slightly broke the structure here on buying, and they're bidding up. Okay, and we don't know. Okay, reversals are tricky. You know, that's why people just get killed in them all the time. Guys, it's just easier to go with the trend. And that's why we covered in our strategies and setups here on the Learning Center, why we covered the continuation pattern first. Okay, this is easier. Okay, momentum strategies and patterns. This is more difficult. It may take a couple shots to get the trade you're looking for. Okay. All right, let's extend this line across here. Go into edit. Okay, we would anticipate some selling in here, probably right up at this area here. All right, so now if that is the case, how do we want to manage this in here? Do we think we're going to break this trend line? We might. Okay, well, it depends. You know, maybe you took some off up here. It's not a bad place to consider it. Okay, and then you can hold, or even if you see more buyers come in here and you're looking for the break, you can even add in here. Okay, we're going to move our stop up a little bit. Okay, and kind of hide it behind this 5210 area here. All right, here's a measured move for you, and you wanted a definition on a measured move. All right, so we can take this move here, or this range here, and we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to look for a measured move back up the other way. And it aligns pretty nicely with where it dropped from up here. Okay, now we've already gotten filled here, right? So it would have been yeah, we turn our heads for just a minute and get filled. We probably would have, if I was not putting this rectangle for the measured move in here, and I see this kind of volume come in on the buy side, I'd take that back. I see high liquidity here. Yeah, it's a good area for me to reduce some risk, take my profit. All right. Okay, but we're still looking for this to go higher. Right. So let's look for a potential continuation pattern in here. Okay, it's probably going to leave us behind here. It's going to be kind of tricky because this is all about the buy volume right now. We do see some liquidity here at these higher levels, and it's not bad. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I just don't think it's worth to jump in up here. But anyway, guys, it's looking pretty good here for a you know that measured move to unfold. Okay, back up into this 23 here. It's just didn't quite meet the criteria here for a pullback, and didn't want to be buying up in here where there still might be selling pressure to come back in. Okay, so anyway, this is playing out pretty nicely here in terms of a reversal pattern. All right, any questions? Rob, one step at a time. Just you want to get a feel for it. Start trading it in sim, but just yeah, if you get you gotta, this is going to be a hard one, Rob. If you're boiling rage when you lose, you just you can't do that. Losing is a part of this business. It is a big part of this business. Okay. Here, let me show you here. Now we've had a pretty decent, like, just demoing this it's gone well for us. We've had some ideas in here based on criteria, and then our luck worked out, right? There will be days like this, Rob, where everything looks good, like really good, and it won't work out, and it won't work out several times. It doesn't matter. Like, that's where you'll have to come back end of the day, reassess it, think about it. How do you want to deal with it? Okay, so for example, then use your replay mode. Come in here and replay it at the end of the day, and what did you do wrong? How do you want to readdress your trading plan? Okay, or is this just one of those days where you would do exactly the same thing and it just didn't work out that day? Okay, that's fine. Okay, but you've controlled the risk. Okay? You've managed the risk. All right, here, let me show you from the guys. If you're interested in this trading journal, let's see, reach out to us. It's best to, I think, Dan, I think I hate to pawn this off on you, but we'll reach out in the Bookmap Academy room, and I want to give you guys access to this. I know it's closed right now as a closed beta, but the trading journal, I'm going to go over here, and you should use this, and we're going to go over some data and why, what we can learn from it. Okay, so for example, let's go through. What do you need? All right, well, first off, you need to go up to, you can see the green configuration, configure add-ons. Okay, well, we might change that in the future. It might not be green, but it is indicating to me that my trading statistics is checkmarked here. It is on. Okay, so in fact, I've opened it, and you can see I have the window here for trading statistics for the ES as well as the NQ. Now, I haven't taken any trades in the NQ. You will need to keep these windows open. Just minimize them if you don't want to look at them. All right. I forget who was asking us about the measured move. Well, here it is, pretty close to it. Now, the market's not going to give you a perfect measured move, but you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And there's reasons for it to unfold. Okay? That there's, these moves can only take so much pressure, and then, what is the buying pressure like? What is the selling pressure like? Okay? This is why the measured moves on the move down. Let's take a quick look. Okay. Here, big move. Look at this small pullback. Again, big move. Very small pullback. Okay, big move. All right, so this is the selling pressure that's come in. What does our buying pressure look like? Well, it's more like this, right? At this point. So let's take that, and you can extrapolate that move down here in this price action. Okay. See how it measures pretty equally. How about down here? Well, it's a little bit less. How about here? Well, now we're seeing what? What are we seeing here, guys? We're seeing a shift. Okay, we're seeing that order flow shift. This is very clear. Okay, from sellers, high liquidity on the bid, getting filled, to buyers. And now, again, we don't know if this is going to turn into a continuation pattern. It's looking okay. It's looking pretty good. We have it auctioned up here, and we're getting another retest up here. Okay, but does this look like the flag pattern we're looking for? No, not even close. This is more of a distribution pattern in here. Okay, I see sellers, I see buyers. At least it's back and forth, put it that way. Okay, so I'm not going to touch it. Okay, I know that there's more buying in here, but it's not looking good for the flag pattern and that strong impulse move, shallow pullback, strong impulse move. Now, we might get it right here. That strong impulse move, we might come up to 30. Okay, but we can even measure that move as well. Okay, so let's just take this move here, and we can duplicate it. And we're also going to take a look at the sellers in here on this move and duplicate it as well. And then we're just going to move our sellers over to here, and we're going to move our buyers here over to here. Right, so maybe we can come up to 30. Right, now in here, we just don't see that strong continuation pattern right now. Okay, we might get it. In fact, it's starting to unfold, but no, we see some selling in here and some back and forth in here. So I'm going to miss it. Right, I'm looking for a clearer setup for myself. All right, so now let's get back into that journal. So you need that trading statistics open. So open it up. You will need to reach out to us, and you need to get the version here 1.9.9. Okay, you'll have to import it, download it, and import it. And then you'll need to check the box up here for send data to Trading Journal, and you can open it up right here. I've already got it open, and let's go through it. All right, so here it is here. All right, so and now again, there's some kind of screwy data in here on this. This is in beta right now. So don't look at these totals in here. We're going to filter though up here by date, and click on the calendar or input the date here. And then let's take a look at just today's action. Okay, well, here we go. Right, so total wins, total losses, and that should add up to, maybe it's considering something else from yesterday. It might be considering, yeah, it might be. I took a bunch of trades yesterday, and we can review that. But anyway, you know, we're very clearly showing 587. Okay, that's what. Well, what's 700? Yeah, no, actually I think that is correct. So this is our winners, 700 minus 112.5, 587. Perfect. Okay, so that's correct. This is our total wins. This is our total losses. Okay, for today, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events, trade events here. Okay, we had one loss, and we had a string of winners here. All right. Okay, now shows your biggest winner, shows your biggest loser, and also your average trade and your average loser in here. Okay, so this actually, now what can we gain from this information? And Rob, this, why I'm bringing this up in here is because you know, you win some, you lose some. It is the overall that we're looking for. It was Stephen the other day in the Bookmap Academy meeting. It is a process. Okay, so this is this is the process here. Okay, the trading journal is going to show it to you. Okay, so that's what we're looking at in here. And what can you glean from this in here? Well, my average winner is not that great. My average loser is, like, you know, it's more than 50% here. Okay? That doesn't make me feel too good. I want like at least 2 to 1 risk to reward to risk. And look at my profit ratio in here. This is not good. I don't like this trading in here. I mean, I think we've been nailing it, and we've had some really good decisions in here. And we've seen it pretty clearly today. I mean, just almost picture perfect with the with what we have from the Learning Center in here. Almost picture perfect. We didn't get our beautiful flag or continuation pattern in here. It was more convoluted in here, right? So anyway, but these reversal patterns have been really nice. And you know, it's such a big down day too, and outside day, and we're trading a reversal. Okay, so anyway, we had our criteria behind it, and we were waiting for our criteria to unfold and take us into a trade, or we got a small loss on one, and then we got in again and took some profit. We had our reasons though behind it, okay? And then finally we did get this kind of reversal in here, and we clearly got a measured move and then some. Okay, so this action is pretty much done, okay, for the day. Now we just might chop between 27 and 10 for hours. Right. So anyway, this is what I want to cover. Let's go back over our trading journal. All right. So here's some problems here, some big ones. My average winner to loser is not that great, and I hit 80%. I'm not looking to hit 80%. This doesn't happen that often. 4 to 1. 4 winners to 1 loser. What if I had like 3 to 1 in here? And as you guys know from the webinar we did with Axia Futures, their best traders are hitting like 1 out of 3, like 33% or so, and they are making millions, tens of millions, and they're hitting 33% or 30. I think it was 37% is what I reminded of. But what I want to cover here is like this is 80%, and this is my profit, my average win to lose ratio in here. What if I just had a few more losers in here? This is going to hurt, right? So I should look for better opportunities then. Okay, or I should be maybe trying to hold for longer, or I need to figure something out in here, because this if I had some losers in here, okay, which I anticipate to have actually more losers than winners. Okay, I anticipate the winners to take care of those losers. Right? So this is what it is, Rob. This is what it's about. It's not about the individual transaction. It is a holistic approach here. Okay, it is a process. Stephen, I'm going to quote you forever on that. I loved it. And I also loved during that trading competition, you'd mentioned, well, I wanted to go long, and I go, well, why didn't you? And you said it didn't meet my criteria. Guys, these are really simple, powerful things. Let's see, Slowdown has a great one here. I love it. Look at this. So in the guys, if you want to join over in Discord, the All Markets chat room there. He's outlined it here very nicely. He's got his own checklist here, okay, with criteria marked 1 through 5. And this is what Slowdown's looking at in here. It's kind of what we just went through actually several times now, and what we're looking for. And here's the transition that he's talking about right here as well. Okay. Yeah, partial profit, and then looks like you probably got filled up. Yeah, you definitely got filled up here as well. Beautiful. Slowdown. Yeah, this is a pretty hardy move up into 30 here, but that would have been a nice little 20-point move. But I don't think it quite made it there yet, did it? Anyway, guys, like great stuff. Slowdown, excellent content. Again, this is all supportive in here. So you've got it here in the webinar. You've got it in the Bookmap Academy room. So go ask more, find out more. Go to the Learning Center. Use your replay mode. Trade in your replay mode. I can't emphasize how important that is. To really understand. Here's our move. We're going to likely get it up into 30 here, but again, I'm not going to just jump in and manage a small scalp here. I want to go through this content and this on a regular day. I'd look for it and probably trade it, but I'd have to zoom in here and go through it. Yeah, in fact, like let's go through yesterday's and go through the trading journal from yesterday, okay? Because we had some losses, we had some winners, and no, it was a good day. But here, yeah, I think this is right. Yeah, this is right. So this is yesterday. Okay, so I think we had a 375 a winner, and then I think we had some other trades. I forget what we ended up with altogether, but this was later in the day. Now look at all the trades I took too, okay? And I took a lot in NASDAQ. I was kind of fiddling around with NASDAQ as well. Okay, so quite a few trades in here. Let's see, 17 trades. Okay. Now, um, what I want to, now that and why I'm showing this in here, Rob, is because I have more data. Okay, my average winner to average loser in here, I need to bump that up. I need to work on that. I need to get it better here. My profit ratio 63%. Okay, this this is how you can see your performance diminish in the bigger picture here. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the individual trades in here, because now I have 17 events in here. This is going to help out a lot. Okay, let's look at our we have maximum favorable excursions and maximum adverse excursions here. Okay, well, this one was pretty good on the NASDAQ here. 190, I don't know how many ticks it is exactly, divided by 5, but this went in our favor 44. It went against us 1. That's about as good as you can get. I'm really happy with something like that, because it's going to go against you typically. That's why actually, we don't want to have it go against us. Remember the Donkey Face had talked about it. There's our move into 30, and we can still get a move back up into 40 here. Okay, look at how thinly traded it is in here. So we can come all the way back up to here where it dropped from. Right? Yeah, here's our pullback. Okay, so far. All right. So let's also just cover it quickly here. Our pullback is almost back to the swing from yesterday's low. Okay, that's around 35. That's right here. I would anticipate we're going to probably see a pullback to about there. Okay, because the data is not out, it's tomorrow. Right? So this is maybe, this is just like non-farm. Look at the pullback here from on the hourly. This was Thursday, and this is Friday. Okay, so where is it going to pull back to? Probably around here, 36 or so, something like that. We have high liquidity up there as well. Okay, up by the swing. So anyway, now let's get back into the winners or favorable and adverse excursions here. Okay, so how are we doing here? Remember Donkey Face talking about he hates taking the heat, having it go against him. He's looking for it to work immediately and jump in and ride that momentum. Okay, well, this is a pretty good example here. I took this later in the day in the afternoon. Okay, here this one on the ES, it went against me 10 points, but it went for me 20. This was during the webinar, we can take a look. Here's this one. This one went against me 32 and went against for me 4, and was a $300 loser. Okay, pretty bad trade here. I should go back and review this one. Right now, if you have it in your replay mode, go back and take a look. Replay it. What did you see? What were you thinking? What would you do differently? All right, so anyway, start to look at these numbers in here, here, this one somehow pulled out a winner. I don't know why, I forget what I did in here, but like went against me almost 40 points, 39 points, and went for me only 24. Okay, so maybe I just reduced the risk in there somehow and got out of it. Okay, here, this one's great. 31 for me, against me 2. Okay, some of these other ones, pretty happy with the performance. These are like kind of scratch trades in here. This was a small winner, but it went against me quite a bit. This one here, nice, went for me quite a bit and went against me very little. Okay, so Rob, what I'm trying to get at in here is losing as a part of it, It is going through and looking at your criteria and doing it again and again and again. Okay, this trading journal should help you, right? And we'll have more metrics to go through here over time. So play around with this. I think this is where you will learn a lot about yourself and your trading, and take only high probability trades. Okay. Well, put it this way. What does that even mean? Make sure the trade meets your criteria, right? Then manage it correctly. Okay. Use your some of the management we've been going through the last few days or last week, and we'll continue to go through more of that as well. All right, guys. So I think let me see if there's any questions in here. Love to see this discussion in here. Some good stuff in here. And you guys are really, this is what the community is all about, like how you guys are coming in here in the, this is the all markets. Let me show you guys over on YouTube. Our Discord is free. You come in and join. You'll see all the events every day. They're scheduled up here. You can see the other events coming out the rest of the day. Or rest of the week in some cases. Our Bookmap Academy, I'll go over that event here in just a minute. But we have John Slazos, we have Tom, and I think that's it for today. No, that's not true. We have all sorts of other events. I think let's go to the Learning Center here. And then let's go down to join free events. Yeah, no, that's it. So earlier we had, who do we have here? We had Markets in Mayhem earlier, and we also had Oliver Sparring in German here, and Anshul as well. This is in Hindi, and that was at 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events today. You can see the calendar here every day, right? And all the events that are there. So yeah. Anyway, I was talking about the support from the community. Really nice supportive community in here that we have. And I love it the way you guys come in here and help each other, answer each other's questions, etc. Now this here is for this is the matching chat room, text chat room for this webinar. Okay? And that you can see in here that that's typically the way we do it in here, is we have the chat room or the voice room in here. Okay, this is it here, right? And then we have the matching chat room as well, and that's where the discussion is. And we separated it by design so that you guys can chat after as well. But it is the Bookmap, and it's really nice to see support in here. It is the Bookmap Academy room that I want to show you guys, because I think we have a really great community going on over there with the Bookmap Academy. It's up above. Hold on. And if you guys are interested in joining, it is free. And the whole idea is to coach and mentor you and go through your trading activity and give feedback on it. Okay, so yep, here it is here. Hold on. Bookmap Academy here. And this is the room here. And then on the Bookmap Academy stage room here is when we open the mic on Thursdays at market close for you guys, and let you walk us through your trade activity. Why did you make some of the decisions that you made? And we give feedback. Okay, so here's the Bookmap Academy room right here. and you can see all the different fantastic content in here. Okay, fantastic stuff. Here we've got Dune Runner. He's been making some really good content in here. Here's Rob looking at some stuff. It looks like maybe your anchored VWAPs, but here's Robbed and some excellent content as well. Crash F16, always good, and then some back and forth in here. Donkey Face, Slow Down. Really great stuff, guys. So anyway, I just want to clue people in about it and where it is. It is here. If you go to bookmap.com, on the More button, and then under Community, go to Bookmap Academy, and you can sign up here. All right. For those of you interested in, well, if you can get Bookmap for free as well in here. You have to earn it, though, as an Academy member by becoming a better trader. Well, what more could you want? This is working. You put in the effort here, and we will reward you. Okay? So, and reduce your trading costs by subsidizing Bookmap cost for you. You can become a coach in here. You can get data for free. You can become a Bookmap streamer. Okay, Doug and Tom are Bookmap Academy streamers. They originated well, they had been trading obviously quite a while, but worked their way up through the academy. It's like, wow, you guys are great. Why don't you start streaming? And we'll support you. Anyway. All right, so I think our move is pretty much done for today. We see the nice move down. We caught very little of it on the move down. We weren't looking for that. We were prepared potentially for it, but we weren't looking for it. Okay, and then once we started to, see these big moves below these swings in here, we're starting to look for when buyers might start to come in. And we covered that one pretty nicely in some detail. All right, so yeah, we're just kind of chopping around in here. I'd still like to see the move back up into this kind of 37, 36 is kind of a swing from yesterday, but maybe we can get up to 40 here. The liquidity is up above the swing here at 40. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. As a potential move, and just make sure that the criteria in here matches what you're looking for in your move. All right, let's see here. Anything else? Is there any last questions? Sorry, guys, I haven't kept up with the questions. I've been really going through a lot today. Win some, lose some. Live to trade another day. Absolutely. No, guys, it's really the big picture here, Rob. This is a really important lesson to learn. And I don't mean to pick on you, but like that the losing frustrates you so much. It is a big part of the business. It's how you manage the losers, and it's also how you manage the winners. And you can see, like, my winner management wasn't so good today. Not too happy about that. But again, this is kind of demoing it, and we're reducing some of it. Maybe it wasn't a bad idea. If I go back and look at this day. Maybe it's not as bad as I think, because we reduce some of the risk in here by following what we had covered in the Learning Center. Here in the Learning Center, the taking some off. Oops, not there. Here, taking some off on the way up, because we don't know how these are can be very, very tricky, and they could ruin your account. So taking some profit and top of the range in here, and then looking for the potential continuation pattern that follows after. Not a bad idea. Ultimately, you're looking for your measured move and taking profit up here. There's our measured move. Okay, we covered all of this in detail. And I only had one on, so I wasn't able to take another profit up here. So it was all in, all out. And that's why I see the reduce performance here in the journal. Okay, between average loser and average winner. Anyway, lots of things to consider and look at. Yeah. So Rob, it goes back to, I would, I don't know how much better I can describe it, Rob, with the way we started out the day, looking, what was our anticipation for the day? Okay, we were looking for an inside day. We knew the data for tomorrow. And we also said, well, a lot of times you might get the move the day before. And then when the data comes out, you're expecting a big move and you get nothing. Okay, so anyway, prepare your day. What are you looking for? And then look for the setups that match that. Right, and be prepared for it. Anyway, guys, thanks everybody for coming. Let's we'll wrap it up here. And if you like this, please hit the like button over in YouTube. That really helps us. And see if there's any last minute questions in here I can get to. Darren, I'm sorry, I see you have some questions in here, but about liquidity. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe you want to continue that discussion over in the Discord chat rooms or Bookmap Academy. Okay. Anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for coming. And we will see you. I won't be in until Friday at 10 a.m. East Coast time. All right. So tomorrow we have Jay Trader. Ask him a bunch of questions about trade management. He's excellent with it. He really has it down. He just, and you have to with small caps. You get in and you take your losses quickly, and don't let it mess you up. Okay, because it can really hurt you. You can get really, really hurt with those small caps, and it can drive against you for several dollars. And you're down like several thousands, okay, very, very quickly. So learn how to take a loss. I know that's so simple to say that. I don't know how. It's such an important part, and I think Rob and others, like, what will help is this tool. Okay, being able to understand that losses are a part of it here. Right. So what your goal is here, if you look at the data holistically in here, your goal is for the trade to meet your criteria and you take the trade. And then you manage the trade really, really well. Those two factors. Okay. There will be losers. You can count on it. In fact, there should be, well, a lot of traders have a win rate of 33% or in the 30s. Okay, so just consider that. So it's how they manage those losers that makes all the difference. I shouldn't say that either. It is how you manage both the winners and the losers that makes all the difference. It makes everything. And that's why we've been talking about the trade management so much and the scaling. Anyway, starting to beat a dead horse. Thanks for coming, everybody. And we'll see you on Friday. Wednesday is Jay Trader. Thursday is Scott Pulcini. And futures. He's a futures trader, as you guys know. Has a tremendous amount of experience. So lots of good stuff next few days. And then we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.